All right, guys, I need you to tell me if this makes me a bad parent or not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. Moving on. I woke up the other day to Ben messing with the lamp that he isn't supposed to mess with
Okay.
by the bed next to me, and he like kind of drops it or whatever. It's not whatever. He's too shorted already, and he goes, "Oh shit!" And he's 2.5, and I was like, "Hey, Marianne, did you know that our kid says shit now?" And she goes, "Yeah, he was walking down the hallway this morning and he called the dog a little shit." And I was like, "Okay, well, that's cool. Doesn't bother me." It does. The most important part there is that I know it was Marianne who did it. So whenever he does it in front of our families and they get all upset or whatever, I can blame it on Marianne. That's the important part.
And you're asking if blaming something that your wife
No,
did
no, no,
on
no,
your
no, no.
wife makes
But
you a
look,
bad
here's the
dad?
thing. No, no, no. The question is, does it make me a bad dad that I'm just proud he's using it in the right context? You know, he's not just walking around saying shit. He actually says it at a time when an adult would say it.
That's actually less impressive because it means he doesn't understand the word. He's just parroting the
Yeah,
fact
he's
that
just
he's-
mirroring you. He's not actually absorbing information and utilizing it.
yeah. So if he
Well, what do
constructed
you
a
think?
sentence with
What do you
shit
think
at the center
anyone
of it,
is supposed to like internalize the word shit as when you're 2.5? Because he understands that it is. He's using it in the proper
Well,
expletive
does he
context.
understand that it is like also poop?
No, he does not understand that. But that's a definition of the word.
Okay, does this make me a bad dad? Lily said shit the other day, and then she said, "No, Lily, don't say that. That's a bad word."
So that makes you a good dad.
I don't think that she's parroting me. I think my mom said shit in front of her, and then my mom's like, "Don't say that. It's a bad word." Because we were in Target, and there were all these like pumpkin decorations. She picked up one that was glass, and she goes, "That's not a toy. Put that down." I was like, "You were definitely at Nana's house,
Yep.
messing with all her Halloween decorations."
Ben comes home from his grandparents' house talking about how dangerous everything is. Like, my dad has a motorcycle and he was talking about it or something. And Ben goes, "Motorcycles, not safe, not safe." Because that's what his grandma.
I assumed you were gonna say that he was talking about how religion's dangerous. Because that would be much more accurate if he came home.
He does say "bless you" because the rest of our family.
We're teaching her to say "gazoon tight."
Oh, I hate any reaction to my sneezes in general.
I agree with DJ, man.
Because I have very severe allergies, so I will often sneeze 5 or 6 times every few minutes.
No one says "bless you" when I fart in front of them. I have just as much control over that as I do sneezing.
Yeah, it's not even a secular thing.
You
It's
have
just,
as much control over your farting as you do sneezing. You have the world's weakest sphincter.
Why did you have to call me on that?
I was gonna let it slide, Corbin, because I know you just
because he lets them slide.
Yeah.
They're both natural bodily reactions. I don't understand the difference.
That you just have.
It's just it's unhealthy to suppress.
Just you on Wizards coverage. Just I have no control over what's happening right now.
That's why Ben says shit, because he just keeps getting a whiff of Corbin's ass every few seconds.
What smells like shit? No, Lily, don't say that. It's a bad word.
Corbin's just leaving a toxic trail. Ben's like, shit, 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 shit.
I think this is Marianne and I decided that what we're going to do is say that there are words we use at home and words we can't use other places. So it's fine if you want to say shit at home. She's trying to explain to our 2-year-old. But you can't say it anywhere else. I wonder how that's going to go.
That's probably a lot harder than just not saying shit in front of your kid.
Well, the thing is, right? They're 2, so everything you tell him, he's just going to do the. So I don't know.
Now he's not going to say it at home, and he's just going to only use it in public. That's wonderful.
But the thing is, if you say don't do that, he's just going to do it, right? But
yeah,
if you try
but
to
kids
change
aren't
it
reliable enough to use reverse psychology. So if you told him,
Right,
"Hey,
exactly.
say shit all you want at school," he'd be like, "All right, cool. My dad gave me
Yeah.
permission."
Yeah. But whatever, it doesn't matter to me. It's just going to be really funny when it happens in the middle of the airport. We're like getting on the, be like Marianne's family around the flight, and just says shit out of nowhere.
Well, then you just tell them that he's trying to say fire truck.
No. That worked when he was saying fuck. Now that he's
That's
saying
a
shit.
cool callback.
But the cool part is I'm going to blame it on Marianne. Because I usually call the dogs dumbasses.
I don't use profane language in front of my daughter because I'm a good parent.
You know, I was talking to a Magic Pro the other day who has a background in psychology, and he was like, "Don't coddle your kids at all. Research is the best. You just let them curse, let them do whatever. You know, you can't coddle them. It's bad."
What
for
is his
their
opinion on
development.
the cry it out method?
I did not talk to him about
Yeah, of course you didn't, because he's got a background in psychology. He's gonna tell you, he's like, no, man.
it. Yeah, it turns out psychology not exactly the same as neuroscience, but
That's how
close,
you get
TJ.
that's how you get the kids calling you the first week of college, crying, saying they're homesick. Daddy, I can't do summer camp. Ben, you're
Look,
17.
I don't want to demean
Oh.
anyone who, maybe was a kid and got homesick at summer camp, but I never got it either. I didn't really care if my parents sent me a letter or not. I can't
Yeah.
imagine wanting
Well,
to
you
go
were
home
a
from
bully in
college.
camp, right? So you were fine.
Oh, Corbin was, of course, a bully in camp, for sure.
Look, guys, everyone else was really bad at force. I was also a rules lawyer, though.
Oh my god.
I don't know if you knew this or
I'm
not.
learning so much
Yeah,
about you that
you
I
can
feel
be
like I knew on an instinctual level.
you can be a rules lawyer in Foursquare because you can't do all the hits have to be underhanded, right? Not overhanded.
What kind of camp were you playing Foursquare?
Church camp, clearly.
I was just about to say Bible
It's
camp.
obvious. It is obviously Catholic church camp.
Oh no. What?
But what I figured out is that
Did the counselors hit you underhanded too?
if you like slice,
Yeah, you gotta say good game,
no,
otherwise
but you could
it's
cheat it because
molestation.
you could hit the ball, but as long as you like sliced at it to where you kind of like hit the bottom of it, you could send it with just as much force as you could overhand, except that you weren't breaking the rules. So I figured out how to game the system, and then I rules lawyered anyone who did it improperly. But I won a lot of Foursquare. So I don't know. Does that make me a bully?
It makes you a bad parent.
What do you
It makes
get
me
if
mad,
you're really
man.
good at Foursquare at church camp? Just
All
like,
the-
Corbin wins, he gets to shout with the counselors.
All the girls, man. You want a Foursquare, you got the girls, bro.
I'll acknowledge it, Jason. Corbin won't, but I will.
He's repressing a lot of things. He's not going to acknowledge it until he gets hypnotized to learn to stop smoking. And he's like, oh, God.
No, man. Look, Foursquare was just a pretense for flirting with the girls. Clearly.
Girls with promise rings. Good luck.
Bro, that's not Catholic. That's not Catholicism. That's like
It's just south of the.
I'm not
Mason-Dixon
I'm
line.
not going to name another religion, but there are religions that are prominent where I live that is, but it is not Catholicism. Catholicism is where they do whatever and then feel really guilty about it and go to confession.
Yeah.
Because it's a built-in get out of jail free card.
And then they have the nun fetish.
You guys have different experiences.
Well, I think the promise rings are fine if it's coupled with the poop hole loophole.
I was trying not to mention. You can't go there. That's not family appropriate.
You can go there. It doesn't negate the promise ring.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It's good after hours. What? That's the main cast? If you don't know what after hours means, some of the stuff that we think is a little bit too inappropriate for the main podcast, we will put in a special segment called After Hours that is available to some of our patrons at patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery, where for as little as $1 a month, which is 20 or 25 cents an episode, you can have access to our Discord server, and then we can dangle the After Hours in front of you and call you a poor until you up to, I think it's $20 a month to have access to those.
Well,
what
in front
about
of you
the
like salvation in front of a Christian?
Jason, what level do you have to be to get the first release of the After Hour? The one that never actually lasts for more than an hour.
Yeah, well, you gotta be at $20 and you gotta be really nimble.
You gotta be nimble, yeah. You gotta be quick on it.
You gotta listen to it before Corbin does and be like, no, that can't go out. So,
Well, yeah. Turns out it's usually Jason. By the way, little insight behind the curtain for those of you who know what we're talking about. Usually Jason who pulls back the after, not me. I don't listen to him.
because I'm like, there's no way Corbin would.
Yeah,
I was listening to some older After Hours, and they were like, the stuff that was in there is like 3 times as bad as the stuff we're cutting now. So I think we gotta rededicate ourselves to making the After Hours.
Look,
super
man,
dirty
I'm
again.
willing to leave what we've done tonight in the podcast.
Corbin, you would be proud of Jason because there was a couple of things in the AMA that he was sober enough to recognize that should be cut because you wouldn't want it to be in there.
I did see that message where Jason was like, "JJ, cut that," and JJ was like, "I already made a note." He already knew.
Well, because everybody in the AMA is like, dude, Corbin's gonna want you to cut that. So See,
Corbin, you're
I'm
laughing
not.
about this.
I
but
don't
you
even.
would
I'm
not
not
be
even the
laughing
person who
about.
does
You should not be
this.
laughing about this.
our patrons know. They know.
I think
kind
I
of
should
the
be
level.
laughing about this, DJ, because I'm just making everyone else do my work for me. I guess at this point, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't even have to listen to it to know that I don't want it to go out.
Yeah,
And
we're
it still
policing
doesn't go
ourselves
out.
at this point. No,
it's
Jason,
beautiful.
don't say that. That's a bad word.
I think that makes me a very good parent. Yeah.
Yeah.
See that it sets in even when I'm not there.
There's another side to that where I throw a poop covered wipe at you and demand gummy bears. I don't know what the metaphorical equivalent of that is, but we'll figure it out as this podcast goes on. Welcome to Brainstorm Brewery, everybody. I'm your main host, Jason Auld. I'm joined by my other main host, Mr. Corbin Hostler. Say hello to the people, Corbin.
Hey, what's up?
We're joined by our guest, as always, guest Demetrius, Mr. Douglas DJ Wiki Johnson.
It's just Wiki actually.
You know, in 2019, you can change your name to Wiki if you want. That'll be a Patreon goal. If our Patreon gets to $3,500, he will legally change his name to Wiki. He'll have to make new business cards for Card Garden, but
You would have to do that.
Wiki main buyer. What? I'm sure that's probably a really dirty word in Polynesian. Don't say Wiki. That's a bad word.
Are you trying to talk about Survivor again?
No. Please, no.
Oh,
I'm
man.
driving the bus because Corbin hasn't cast with us in a while, and he's itching to talk about some terrible shit. So I'm just gonna navigate us through the narrow path between the stuff Corbin wants to talk about. So we have a full docket for you tonight. I mean, as full as it is with us doing a very successful live AMA. Thanks to everybody who participated in that last week.
Like me.
Yeah, like not Corbin. We had people send us comments on Reddit and actually upvote something we posted on Reddit in the main sub, which is remarkable. That wouldn't happen 3 years ago.
That's the right word for it. It really is remarkable. I was shocked.
Corbin remarked on it. We got lots of good comments both in the finance sub and the main sub, which was great. We got a lot of good participation, and we did about an hour after the official AMA ended, where we just goofed around with a lot of our patrons, and that'll be available as an after hours pretty soon also. So the half-hour Patreon exclusive before the AMA and the hour afterwards will be available to our patrons, and just as a way of thank you for being great. We told everybody we wanted people to lock in at and their Patreon level before the new year, because we'll have exclusive stuff for the people who did that, and we're still trying to figure out exactly what that'll entail, but you'll start getting stuff given to you when we figure it out.
We know a couple of the things that will exactly entail. We're not just running this blind.
What Jason is saying is that we're trying
not just,
to add
promising
new...
blindly that hey, yeah, you'll love it. Shit, we gotta think. No, we.
Well, no, because but every time I was like, yeah, we figured out what we're gonna do. Our Patreon goes up another couple $100 bucks, and we're like,
yeah,
oh,
that's
geez,
exactly
we gotta
what
do.
Yeah.
There's a couple things
we gotta do more.
Concretely decided upon, but
Yeah.
The more the Patreon increases, the more we want to give to those people who have already locked in for 2018.
Right.
So there's at least 2 things that are promised that we have locked in for decided goals, and then we are going to try to whip out 1 or 2 more before the official end of the year. So.
Yeah. So if you're on the fence, I would get locked in.
Like, yeah, well, think of something. Just promise. Believe us.
No, we have the stuff with just like
we want more. That's all.
We want more because we want to make it worth it, because we kind of thought a couple people would do it, but like we got a really good response. Our Patreon's way up because people are locking in like we said to. So we're like, oh, we should do more for them.
They got the idea. There's enough. You got some good stuff coming.
Yeah, you'll be happy, and if you're not, well, you're a nerd. You gave us.
If you're not,
money.
Jason will block you. Actually, you might already be blocked.
If you lock in it in 2018, I'll unblock you. How about that?
Ooh,
I'll unblock you on Twitter.
Oh no, you can't. That's the trick to unlocking the page. There.
I'm not saying I won't reblock you. I'm just saying you get another chance to reoffend. Or not. Maybe you'll be chill this time. Maybe if you're like, I didn't ever do anything and you blocked me. Well, maybe this time when it happens again, you'll figure out what you did.
Maybe. All right. So let's break some bulk, guys. Who wants to go first? Let's get on into it.
Let's have DJ go last because this is his favorite part of the podcast. So let's let him savor it.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
Let's let him squirm and bite his lip. Like, oh, I wanted to breaking bulk so bad. I got one. And I told you guys what it was before the podcast, so maybe I should pick another one. No, let's do it. A blue sorcery from New Phyrexia.
It's Jingataxia's core auger, right?
Did I not say the rarity was
No,
not mythic?
Wait, is that the set where they had proliferate?
No, the joke is that Corbin doesn't understand rarities or card types.
Oh, got him. Because Corbin's really bad at
Is
breaking
that
bulk.
the set where they had proliferate?
Why it is? Could this be
Does this card
tied to
draw?
Simic Ascendancy?
Does this card draw cards, Jason?
It might.
Oh, okay.
It might also just be a card that, like, you'll be buy listing for a quarter soon. Pull these out of bulk. You don't always get these in bulk. People were pretty good about
Tezzeret's
picking them.
Gambit.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm getting gut shots in bulk, like, you're gonna get Tezzeret's Gambits.
For sure.
Anything with Phyrexian mana, really, just yank out of bulk.
I
pull everything with Phyrexian mana.
What are the last couple printings for that? Because it's been in multiple supplemental sets.
But the supplemental sets were like it was in a Modern Master set, and it was in Commander set, and then that was in Commander Anthology. So it's only four printings and really
yeah, that's
three
what
printings.
it's just. I wanted so people know where to look, right? Yeah. Modern Masters 2015 is your most likely bet. It was very plentiful at that time.
Yeah, I just everything. Postmortem Lunge, Marrow Shards, anything with Phyrexian mana from New Phyrexia, I just yank.
Turns out it was always broken all along.
Yeah, it turns out free spells are good, and they keep forgetting that.
All right, I've got one for you guys. I don't know. Maybe I should just say it. It's kind of a DJ pick.
Why don't you say it before the cast, and then we'll act surprised?
Yeah, right. I don't really think you can guess it, so I'm just going to put it out there. But
give us a chance to guess it. Come on.
Okay.
Or is it like an island from?
It's not a basic land, but it's a token in standard.
Okay.
The Karn token?
Yeah, it's the construct.
Yeah.
I don't think you can guess it, guys.
Well, like, what I'm saying is it wasn't a good guessing game because it was obvious what I was talking about. What I was going for. Regardless, the construct is worth more than every common or uncommon in Dominaria. The construct is $2, almost $2.50 basically, nearly $3. The next closest one is Wizard's Lightning at $1.50, which by the way is also a really, Wizard's Lightning, Wizard's Retort.
I get those in bulk all the time. Also,
there's a million cards in bulk, and I'll tell you the one you should probably. I mean, heck, I don't think it's quite pick of the week, but Rat Colony. It's a common, so people are just like, oh, there's no way. Well, Rat Colony's 75 cents right now.
Yeah.
And it's, this set's in print, right? Where do we see Rat Colony going in 2 years? It's probably $2.
It's still going to be $1.
But if it was going to be $1, DJ, wouldn't it be a quarter right now?
I think it's still just going to be $1.
It's a common, man.
Yeah.
The most all right, sure. Regardless, now's your time to find them.
I think it takes like a lot longer than that to creep up. It's not that I don't think it's going to go up. I think it takes.
But DJ doesn't care because he gets infinite of them in bulk, and he'll sell them for 75 cents, and then he'll sell them for 80, and then he'll sell them for 85, and then he'll sell them for $1. So like,
Well, the thing is, we all have infinitum, right? Like,
don't bulk them out is what we're
saying. Everybody who's played in the past 6 months probably, if you played Dominaria at all, you probably have Rat Colonies.
Also,
almost $1.
Fun fact about Rat Colony: if you have a lot of them and you do want to sell them on TCG Player, matching the lowest listing is going to cost you money, and this is a card that you can get more than the lowest listing on. So let's say there's one guy who has one copy for like 48 cents. You don't want to match that listing with your 35 Rat Colonies. because you're going to want to match the lowest listing that has a similar quantity to rat colonies that you have, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to want to put them at like 84 cents, and then the one guy who wants to buy 30 rat colonies at once is forced to pick from your supply or somebody else who has a comparable supply to you. So don't just auto match the lowest listing if it's too low. You're going to want to match closer to the market value or the last sold listing, because that's a card where you will always sell them in multiples.
That's a great tip, man.
Yeah, that is for. I actually can be honest. I didn't know until I went and looked up that construct token, that the rat colonies were worth that much. Like, I haven't been pulling them from bulk. I haven't been picking Dominaria bulk, basically. But
Oh, well, there's not a ton, you know. But there's stuff in the set. It's a good set.
yeah,
I like Dominaria a lot.
It's a great set.
It's got uncommon legends. Yank those. Don't bulk those out for sure.
I think Tatiova is the only real one that you want to pick.
There's stuff I set aside. There's stuff I'm not like trying to buy list, but there's stuff I'm like, I don't want to dig back through for this again later.
yeah. I look at like Adeliz, for instance, and that's one. Could be better.
Is that how you pronounce that card?
I have no idea.
I pronounce it Adilas.
I mean, I'm just gonna assume that you're wrong because you're never right. But I don't know.
It's actually Adele. It's actually Adele is. Hello from the astral slide.
That's pretty good, Jason. I'll give you that. Not bad for sitting on your porch in the cold and bitter Maryland winter.
This is not my porch. This is my mother-in-law's porch, and there's a screen between me and the elements.
Is
Not
this
like a wall.
So is when you met your wife, was this the house she lived in?
No.
Oh, okay. Because like it was kind of weird, like the first time after Marianne and I got married, when she still lived in the house she lived in when we started dating when she was 15 or whatever, right? It was like, oh, now we're just like adults and we just like have a room to ourselves. It's not this weird, sleep on the couch.
Now we're allowed to bang in this twin bed.
And it's just so weird how expectations change and people go from like, I mean, I don't know, maybe this is a religious thing or whatever, but in general, I think older people go from like not wanting to know, obviously don't want to know about your sex life or they want to pretend you're not having sex or whatever, right? But then as soon as you get married, everyone cares about your sex. It's all
right.
they care about.
It's like not in my house, and then a month later, it's like, when are you going to give me a grandkid?
Yeah, exactly. It's just insane.
Well, when you stop making us sleep in separate twin beds. I can bang your granddaughter in the shower. You know that, right? Like,
oh, come
you're
on,
minorly
man. Come on.
you're minorly
You didn't need to make
me.
it graphic.
I didn't need to. No, I didn't. That's what I do.
Oh man. All right. DJ, go ahead, man.
Mine was originally from Lorwyn, but it was reprinted at Uncommon, and it is from Modern Masters 2015.
It was originally what? It was originally common?
It was originally rare, and now it's uncommon.
What color?
Red.
Man, we got a rarity downshift in red from Lorwyn. Ooh.
Oh, I gotta think this one through. I feel
Incandescent Soulstoke.
Yep, there you go.
good call.
3-mana Lord, Elementals Lord, lets you sneak attack some Elementals into play. It's not a lot of people know this was originally a rare, I think, just because most Lords are uncommon in general, and so you just think, oh, uncommon card Lord. But this used to be a rare, and the Lorwyn version of this, if you can find
Lords
it, is
used to
also
be
Breaking
rares.
Bulk.
Yeah, that's a new paradigm shift, right? Like Lords were almost always rare.
I mean, Imperious Perfect wasn't uncommon in the same set. So.
That was the same. Well, that's kind of where it started.
Yeah, because
that's why I'm saying new is a stretch, because Lore was 11 years ago.
Well, but even around then, right? They were putting Lords at rare, like Master of the Pearl Trident.
I mean, Undead Warchief was uncommon. A lot of Onslaught Lords were uncommon, I think.
I guess you might be right. Yeah, you're both right, actually.
Yeah, that's a good...
It's gone back and forth, I guess.
I guess it really depends on the tribe and, like, if it's like a...
Well, and you're kind of thinking probably, like, the good ones are rare, because, basically the uncommon one pretty much just gives +1/+1. Certainly the ones in Standard do. Sometimes they give something small, but usually, like, the playable Lords are all...
I think it really depends on... And also if the tribe if the tribe is real small, and it's
Yeah.
like just from that set, then it's like screw it, put it uncommon, so like
Right,
you could
yeah.
potentially have a
Well-
limited deck around it.
Well, it's nice to
versus-
build around them in limited too.
Yeah. Versus you couldn't make an uncommon human lord or something like that. I guess you could. Who knows, man?
I mean,
Set design's hard.
yeah, Hamlet Captain is kind of an uncommon lord.
Yeah, that's true.
Incandescent Soulstoke, the lore ones specifically, if you find them in bulk rares, because it did get reprinted uncommons, that means people might throw the rare one into bulk bins. So the rare one buy lists for 75 cents, and the uncommon one significantly less. It's only like 7 to 12 cents or so on Card Kingdom. It fluctuates. But yeah, Incandescent Soulstoke is definitely...
Yeah, but someone sends Card Kingdom 25 Incandescent Soulstokes for 75 cents each, and they're done buying them.
That's for a minute, anyways. Yeah.
For a minute.
Yeah. Be quick or be dead.
So I guess it's an incandescent tip for those who are quick.
Here.
See, when you do it, it just sounds forced. Puns gotta flow naturally. You gotta. I think it's when you have a kid, you learn to make puns better.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Their puns are the dad form of humor, so like it comes naturally.
Okay.
My favorite dad joke is, "Nice to meet you, taking the kids and leaving you because you won't stop making puns. I'm dad." That's a real head scratcher, I guess. You know what? People in their cars driving to work are laughing.
Are
even
they?
If you don't get it.
You think
So-
they
yeah.
are?
They're gonna write into the podcast and be like, "I'm a $10 patron. Read my email." They'll be like, "I laughed at Jason's joke."
And then
Corbin
I'll never
smells.
read those emails because I'm the only one that has access to the email.
That is
That's
a good
not
point.
true.
But you'll know.
We
You'll
all
delete
have
those emails
access
and you'll
to
know.
it.
Yeah.
We all
well,
have access to it.
we all have hypothetical access to them. Do we know the password? All of us?
Do
Perhaps
I
not.
still have the email where DJ gave me the password?
Do I have the email for when I asked the second time and he's like, "I'm sick of giving you the password"? Do you have the third email and he's like, "I'm not giving you the password anymore"?
What about the fourth one where you promised him you'd keep it this time?
I have all of those, but I don't have his original email with the password.
Good work, good work. All right, you guys.
So DJ will read those emails. He'll know, and I'll know.
You guys want to? You guys want to talk Ravnica Allegiance?
Not really.
Really?
I mean, cool. It's.
I'm pretty.
You know
hyped.
what? I would love it if they gave us a good commander.
Oh, you're not a fan of Zagana?
No.
Jason, there's like
I'm a fan of
4
Zagana,
cards.
but I'm not a
Jason,
fan
there's
of Zagana
4
Utopian
cards,
Speaker.
man. There's not that much spoiled.
Okay,
Which
so
is
there
why
are
I
3.
don't wanna talk
Okay,
about
so
it.
wait. There are going to be 10 commanders, right? They've spoiled 2.
No,
3 of them are
some of them are-
planeswalkers, so we
yeah.
get 5 more.
10
So
multicolored
there's not
commanders.
10 commanders. There's 7 commanders.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm saying there, but 3 of them are planeswalkers, so
Yeah.
they don't count.
Okay, sure, whatever.
So-
I don't. So what are you
So
mad
they're-
about? That Zagana sucks.
I mean, here's the problem. Simic,
Zagana's
I
good in
think,
standard, man.
Yeah, probably, and I think Zagana probably makes some other Merfolky stuff in standard. Like people are buying Jade Late Rangers and like
I've been telling people buy your Kuminas.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
Kumena's the big one, yeah. So
Jade Light
like,
was
yeah,
already expensive due to standard. Kumina was worth a lot of money and hasn't been touched. If Merfolk has a hint of playability, Kumina's
that's a $20 card.
Yeah,
probably.
Kumina's gonna blow up.
So yeah, I mean,
Corbin,
if that,
you think Merfolk could have a hint of playability?
yeah,
I mean, Merfolk's already a pretty popular MTG arena deck. It's also fairly popular, like casual FNM budget deck sort of.
for your F&M grinders.
Yeah, I mean, like
Hashtag for Merfolk.
there are more people playing Merfolk in standard than there are playing like vampires in standard.
I think even stupid pelt collector and crap like that, just on the whiff of 1/1 counters being a secondary mechanic or a resource of some kind. Like I think like pelt collector went from like $1 to like $4.
Yeah, Pelt Collector's sweet.
I don't as an EDH player, I'm not excited about Zagana. I like others
No,
a
it's
better.
it's obviously nothing.
So, I mean, if
what about
it's- I-
Lavinia though? Isn't Lavinia just busted?
No, not really. Because I think
this-
half of its text box isn't really going to be all that relevant, and if you want to play a bunch of bad cards, plus Dream Halls, which is a good card, then I guess. But like, I think people are buying Well of Knowledge and crap like, or not Well of Knowledge, the other one, Knowledge Pool,
Uh-huh.
and they're buying the crap like that and Eye of the Storm. But I don't think the deck will materialize.
I mean-
I think Lavinia could be the harsh mentor of this set.
Yeah.
I don't know,
We're
man.
like-
I think Lavinia
yeah.
might legitimately be good in vintage.
Oh yeah, no, I'm.
Sure.
It's not for
and
EDH,
by
is what I'm
extension,
saying.
Legacy. Yeah, okay, I'm with you. I'm with you on that, Jason.
No, I think it's Leovold tier in Vintage.
Yeah, it seems.
Yeah,
Here,
no, but that doesn't mean
do
anything for the
yourself a favor. If you don't
price.
know about formats like that, go make Twitter friends with people who know stuff. I will bounce questions off guys like Aaron Katz and Kevin Crone, who's on the So Many Insane Plays podcast with Steve Menendian. Um, you ask guys like that who know that kind of stuff, and it takes you 5 seconds to fire off a tweet, and they love talking about the format because how often you get to talk about Vintage.
Yeah,
So
and it's not,
just
you got to
just
think
see
through.
see what people who know about the stuff are saying about the cards instead of like trying to guess.
I
That's why Twitter's a good resource.
Yeah, the thing about Lavinia though, man, and Commander, like, it like shuts off mana rocks in some ways. Like,
It shuts mana rocks off as ramp, not as a
yeah,
resource later, but
correct.
yeah, it shuts them off as ramp for sure. So if you Armageddon, you could really mess with people.
Yeah, that's right. That's oh god, you're right.
Fall of the Thran would be good because you'll get some lands back.
Man, you're right. People are gonna do that too. It's just definitely. I'm just definitely gonna play against Lavinia Land Destruction soon.
Yeah, and never again. You won't be playing against it in 2 months.
Well, that's true because I'll never play with that person again.
I just don't think they'll play with the deck again.
Yeah, well, that might also be true.
I wish land destruction was more of an accepted commodity in Commander.
The problem is, it's like
No,
if
man.
you have a way to, you're just putting everybody else behind and yourself
Right.
at neutral, as opposed to, so like you're just making the game take.
Just
longer.
win the
So
game.
you're just saying I don't receive. If you blow up all my lands
Just
and then
kill me.
I'm helpless and you kill me right away, cool. But like if you blow up my land and then everyone's top decking, like you're a garbage person.
I was playing a game the other night, and like I had a chance to leave up a counterspell for a guy, and I didn't. I advanced my board state instead. I was playing a zombie. Next thing I know, we have no lands. Then he blows up like 2 of my mana rocks, and I have like 1 mana. But he doesn't win. The game goes on for another hour. But
Yeah.
and like I should have just scooped. I wasn't having fun, but we keep track of our stats when we play. So I clearly am not going to just give up a win here. So I sat there for an hour, and I eventually won the game. But I spent 30 minutes of that hour, if not more, literally doing nothing but watching other people play Magic because this guy had played LD. We could have ended the game and played another game in that time span, in which everyone would have had a lot
Right.
more fun if they hadn't played LD.
I don't think that is the fault of land destruction. That is the fault of like people building land destruction poorly. That's like saying like there's an acceptable way to play stacks and end the game quickly, but there's
Yeah, but
like,
a lot of land destruction is. I mean, you're right. It is very similar to stacks, right? But a lot of land destruction
or like hard
almost
control,
never
or,
wins
like,
the game. Like the
Mass
stacks deck
LD
usually
has
wins.
it has a low floor, high ceiling in terms of skill. Like any idiot can blow up everybody's lands with Armageddon, but it takes a little bit of planning, some good deck building, and some practice. And your cards coming up the right way for you to Armageddon in a way that you win the game in 2 turns and they
Well,
can't
but
stop
also
you.
the thing is, though, just by nature of that being your deck, you're not always going to be on the front foot. Sometimes you're going to play Armageddon just so you don't lose. And you're going to sit there for another 30 minutes, but if that's your best chance to win, that's what you're going to do. So
And I
just
don't
by
think there's
putting the
anything wrong
card
with that.
just by putting the card into your deck, you are creating a non-zero number of circumstances where you will do that. You won't have any particular way to recover, but you have a ghostly person out, and now you cast Armageddon because you're dead if you don't. That sort of
Do
thing.
you guys hear those sirens?
No?
No.
Oh,
Well,
I was hoping that would be. It feels like an episode of Money Draft where Jairus is like, I'm just gonna podcast with my window open.
Anyways, go
I
ahead.
really feel that like green it's land destruction is one of the best ways to punish green for having that overwhelming advantage in Commander.
Yeah, I'm
and it's
with you.
one of red and white's tools that would normally be accessible to them in a regular game. That is just like, oh, you can't play that because it's unfun, and that just sort of makes green one of the best default colors because it's one of its main weaknesses is like shoved away by the community.
And that's why I think Zagana was so hard to make good in Standard and good in EDH, because it's hard to make a Simic card that isn't either bonkers or garbage, just because blue and green have access to the best card draw, the best ramp,
Well, that's the thing is, I don't
permission.
think that I don't know.
It's tough to make a Simic commander, I think.
Well, I also just think that I mean, I don't know how strong the argument of playing land destruction to beat the deck that's really good at putting lands into play is. Like, if the whole argument is that this is the only way we can deal with green ramping, well, green ramps, they're just gonna do it again. They're gonna have the ability to recover better than you in most circumstances.
Yeah, I guess that's why you Kismet Winter Orb follow the Thran.
Well, now we're talking. All right, so let's talk about the card that basically everyone cares about right now, which is Simic Ascendancy. It's made a bunch of cards go up.
If you think this card's gonna get banned in EDH, then block me on Twitter, please.
Have people really said that?
Yes. I don't know if they were being ironic. I don't think they were, but
maybe hyperbolic or just like at first blush you look at this, you're like, wow, this seems like you have a lot of inevitability. It seems really hard to stop, and then you just win the game. But like, it seems about as bannable as something like Hellkite Tyrant.
Yeah, I mean, I used the analogy Male's Aria.
Male's Aria,
like,
yeah.
So Simic Ascendancy, for those who don't know, it's blue-green enchantment. 1 green and a blue, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever 1 or more counters are put on a creature you control,
+1/+1 counters.
Yeah. But that many growth counters on Simic Ascendancy at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 20 counters on it. Is that correct? Yeah, 20 counters, you win the game. So
the best part about this is
Aria
it's good in the annoying Atraxa decks that was already the #1 deck.
Well, it's whatever in Commander. People trying to combine it with Adonis Climb or whatever in Standard, that's just pretty bad, to be honest.
That seems hilarious to me.
It seems cool.
Hope it works.
Yeah, it's not. That's just this card isn't good. It's cool. It's basically every Simic card ever where you read it and you're like, oh, that's neat. I see what you did there, but then it just sucks.
I like cards that say you win the game.
Yeah, design.
I've always wanted to build a blue-green win condition tribal deck where you just have every other, like, Epic Struggle and Helix Pinnacle and
Biovisionary.
Like,
yeah,
probably cut Lab Maniac just because that one's not fun, but Biovisionary and what's the other one?
In blue-green.
That's just whatever that one commander is.
Yeah,
the double stuff, the uncommon, right?
What are you talking? Vorel?
No, he's talking about
Vorel. I'm talking about Vorel.
Vorel can't do Helix Pinnacle. That's the problem.
Oh, it can't do that. It can do all.
It can do Darksteel Reactor though.
Yeah.
I'm actually keeping track of all the ones that are actually playable in EDH.
Yeah,
I'm trying to win with every you win the game card. And I'm like halfway there.
The other one's the artifact one from Aether Vault. To clone an artifact, then when you have
mechanized production. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I want to make a Simic deck where it's just win condition tribal.
I'll also say that Growth Spiral is a pretty sweet card. Blue-green instant Explore. That card's cool. I'm pretty hype on that card. But
the fact that it's instant speed is really fun to me. I'm having trouble with my Tatiova deck. I'm having trouble making it fun and not taking 6-minute turns where I don't win. Like I've put more work into that deck than any other deck, and like it's been too good, then it's been too bad, then it's been too good again. This is something that deck wants, and I don't know, man. Simic's hard.
Have you considered restricting yourself to like killing them with your lands with combat damage or something like that? Like Nature's Wrath and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, but my lands will be summoning sick, and I don't like giving them a turn on tap. I'm winning with Psychosis Crawler, and I'm like, I'm not winning with Lab Maniac. But if you're winning with Psychosis Crawler, you might as well win with Lab Maniac. So
what do you guys think about the other mechanics in the set? We've got Spectacle, which is if an opponent has lost life this turn. We've got Afterlife, which just spits out 1/1s. And we've got Addendum, which I think is cool. If you cast a spell in your main phase, then get something.
And we have Afterlife.
I mean, Addendum cards were already pretty playable in EDH. If you look at the
Return to Dust
is a sorcery. That card's a sorcery.
I was going to ask about that. Do we think that card's getting reprinted?
I don't think so because they just did that one that blows up an artifact or an enchantment or both.
Crush Contraband?
Crush Contraband, yeah. So I don't think you need both in the same block.
So do we think that Return to Dust is well, one, is it going to get? It's not going to get
errata to have
addendum, but
I don't. Think,
I mean, does Might of Old
that.
Krosa get errata to have addendum? I don't think so. Like,
no. Well, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, there's no reason they wouldn't, right?
They don't errata cards to have keywords that don't mean anything, though, right?
Yeah, I agree. They don't.
It's like if you had to errata it to have an actual keyword like trample or like hexproof, where the keyword actually means something, then
Well, normally they're just changing existing text to
I
match
think
the
it's
new
cool
text.
though. I think it's going to produce some
tag
pretty
that.
powerful cards. I mean, what do you think about emergency powers
I think it's doofy. I said you should name it
expertise.
Narset's expertise. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's 7 mana, instant, blue, white, 5. Each player shuffles graveyard in hand and library, then draw 7. Exile this. But if you cast it during your main phase, you can put a converted mana cost 7 or less from your hand on the battlefield.
What are you hoping to do with that? Like it's cool and powerful, but like yeah.
Spine of Ishsaw.
Yeah.
I feel like
Cage Sun.
I feel like a lot of these
Mindslaver.
mechanics, if not all of them, feel very play design esque. I'm not entirely sure if I can explain easily what I mean by that, but I feel like a lot of these mechanics were specifically dedicated to creating a interactive standard and limited environment.
Mm-hmm.
I think Afterlife is
I don't know.
sneakily going to be the best one. If you have something with Afterlife 3 or 4,
It's not sneaky.
with like a Phyrexian Arena or something like that, you're just going to be blood artisting people out of every game.
That
You mean
mechanic
Phyrexian
is.
What did I say?
Arena.
Well, that too.
Afterlife is
all
just
the Phyrexians.
Afterlife
Tower,
is just
Arena,
busted,
Altar.
Man. Everybody who plays Aristocrats, and I know
Yeah.
somebody who plays Teysa in Commander. It's just disgusting. This card's like Tithaker, that the one that's been spoiled. During your turn, suppose your opponent's cast costs 1 more to cast, and abilities they activate cost 1 more to activate unless they're mana. Afterlife 1.
Well, the fact that it says Afterlife 1 means that it basically all but
it's just huge. Everything's a
says
Doom
for
travel.
sure they're going to be Afterlife more than one. Otherwise,
Yeah, literally everything with Afterlife on him is just a Doom, like has a Doom Traveler attached to it.
And I think it'll get even better
else.
when Settle the Wreckage is gone, and we're going to have to go back to more conventional board wipes.
Yeah, man. Afterlife is so good. And then I look at Adapt, the Simic keyword. And it's not anything wrong with Adapt. It's just so much less powerful.
Well, as much as we bitched about all, remember we were podcasting when the last Ravnica set can be like, oh, 4 Merfolk, all the Simic stuff sucks, and then Zagana is just an EDH staple, and like I play.
Well, there's also the fact that like Pelucranos was spoiled and monstrous, and everyone's like, oh, maybe it'll eventually see play. I guess it's got a lot of mana on it. I don't know.
It's a 4 mana 5/5. We're so dumb for like a 4 mana 5/5 that could be a 10/10. Oh no.
Yeah, it turns out that card was pretty good. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see. I think Afterlife is gonna be the most powerful. I'm just hopeful for that 1-drop Merfolk. But I think the most hype card from the set, and well, maybe hype's the wrong word, but just the best long-lasting staple I think we're gonna get here is Bedevil. It's Hero's Downfall with a red instead of a colorless, and you can destroy an artifact creature or a planeswalker now at instant speed.
You can get it off of Sunforger, which I think is
Corbin, you can
the
destroy an
most important
artifact
element.
or a creature or a planeswalker. It doesn't only hit planeswalkers and artifact creatures.
I know.
Yeah, you said artifact creature or planeswalker. You can hit a non-artifact creature.
I was
Or
just reading the
non-creature
card text. It says destroy target artifact, comma, creature, comma, or planeswalker. So that's what I read. I understand the confusion. But yeah, that card is extremely powerful.
And it's also got some gorgeous Seb McKinnon art.
It does. It does.
I think you were just going to lose to the Riot deck every time you play Limited.
The Riot deck? The
grow mechanic?
Yeah.
That
grow-
is,
it's
it
just,
is powerful.
It's
You get either a 1/1 counter or haste.
Yeah.
I like how Sam Black's like, you can choose if your creature's red or green.
Yeah. Dude, that's so true.
Man, that's a smart joke. I like that.
Well, this Gruul Spellbreaker is the one we've seen with it that's the best. It's the rare. It's a 3/3 for 3. Has Riot, has Trample, and just for good measure, as long as it's your turn, you and Gruul Spellbreaker have hexproof. What does that mean?
You don't, Wizards of the Coast really regret printing Settle the Wreckage.
Exactly. You are not getting settled with this card in play. And it has hex. This is literally like the most targeted red-green doesn't get blown out by settle the card ever. Because even it has hexproof. So they can't even kill it and then settle you. You know? You're always going to see it coming.
Remember when people said they needed to ban Goblin Chain Whirler, and now it's not even played at all?
Oh, it's definitely played.
It'll
But
come back, I
mono-
think. It's
mono
like
red
five,
is-
$6 right now. I could see it coming back, especially in response to
It's only like
crap like Afterlife.
I don't think the price is going in.
No, I think Chainwheel is 3 or you like 350.
It's never going to be played more than it was. So it is good. I mean, it's still good. Mono red aggro is a deck, but there's also like a big red mono red mid range deck that exists that it's played in. So that's
Chainwheel
all.
was like 250.
That's all. Those are all decks that play Chainwhiller, but it's never going to be what it was. It just, in that moment in time, against that particular format, happened to be the most unbeatable part of the best deck. But it was just already the best deck. And I think that's what people
Unbanned
forget.
Ferocidon.
I liked Ferocidon.
It's unfortunate it was completely broken. But yeah. All right, let's move on. Ravnica Allegiance is going to be sweet. Don't miss your pre-releases.
You know what Ferocidon does is it shuts down that Genesis Chamber deck, that red, white, blue thing that everyone's
Oh, that
seeing.
monstrosity that Jerry shared on Twitter.
Yeah, that deck's
Jesus Christ,
amazing.
That deck was a pile, but it looked gorgeous.
Anybody who's ever played Genesis Chamber knows how good it is. I could really see that just getting way out of hand. Because it's Norwin the Wary, and then he like comes back in, triggers Genesis Chamber, you gain a life off Soul Ward, and you're like 50, and they're like, ah.
Well, that deck's special because it looks like you have to have a fucking PhD to play it. It has like 4 Whir of Inventions, like some like ridiculous mana base. It has a Thopter Sword combo.
It has the Thopter Sword combo and the Genesis Chamber Norrin combo, and then you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna gain 1,000,000 life.
It has a Krut Clan Ironmercs in there for good measure. There's a 1 of Mox Opal, 2 Beaumont Couriers for some reason. Like, that deck plays Misty Rainforest, Beaumont Courier, and a triple blue spell. And this, like, and somebody 5-0'd with it.
Triple blue is it's fine, man. If Pat Chapin taught us anything, it's that you can splash a cryptic command into a deck that doesn't have any blue. And he was right. It got there.
This is a deck that I'm going to get a message from somebody in 3 days asking to buy all the pieces.
To build the whole thing,
and then they're going to sell it a day later.
Yeah, just like all the people buying all the Lich's Mastery cards from me and then selling them back to me 2 FNMs later. It's like, turns out I'm not Ali and Tracy.
All right, so guys, let's talk about the AMA last week.
It's not.
What AMA?
That was last week. You weren't even here, man. What do
I
you
know,
know,
man.
like?
Corbin, wait, what anime?
I don't know what you're doing, DJ.
I don't either, but I like it.
What do you want from me? What do you want me to say?
I mean, I was kind of just hoping to gaslight you, but...
Yeah, but like, how though? Because you acknowledged it on this episode. So
I was banking on Corbin's lack of short-term memory from the car accident.
well, he remembered to wear a seatbelt, so clearly he has some memory.
I thought
That was a good try, DJ. I'm going to give you a B+ for effort.
No, I really wanted to be on board with you, DJ, and that was so terrible.
You failed the execution. Look, man, I'd give it to you but you just didn't. All right, so
that was real bad, man. I gotta be honest. I really wanted to get Corbin and just.
I wasn't. I was not free last week. I'm really glad. We couldn't record our normal night because I literally had no voice. I just couldn't talk. I was sick, and I still don't have it completely back, but I just couldn't talk at all. I could not make noise. So, but then we had a guest. The guest fell through. So AMA seems like it was a lot of fun. I read through all the AMA questions on Reddit, and one of them did say to give DJ a hug. So he could probably really use that right now.
Wait, what?
This is my favorite DJ quote, or DJ reference on here. It says, "Give that guest DJ a hug. He seems like he needs a hug." And then someone else replied and said, "He really does. That is one grumpy dude who needs a little love. During set reviews, he seems damn near despondent and angry."
Which is my set review shtick.
If you had to do a set review, you'd be despondent and angry too.
It's more like you just hit 11:30 or midnight, and DJ's brain just shuts off, and he's a grumpy
turns into
old
a
man.
bitchy pumpkin.
Yeah. All right. So, but I did want to, since I wasn't able to take part in it, I did want to. We have some emails, and I'm going to answer the couple questions that were directed specifically.
Oh,
at
Jesus. Can you just do that in another segment?
Nope.
Called...
No, you guys are going to like this one. This one's
do
pretty
that on
mean.
Mining Modern this week or some shit, man. Come on.
Someone said for Corbin. Do you vape? Have you previously vaped? Seems kind of on brand, but also wouldn't be surprised if the answer was no. I've never vaped.
It does.
I've never vaped or smoked cigarettes in my life.
You're like if vaping became a person.
See, I knew you'd enjoy this one. No, I don't vape. I don't like make fun of people who vape. I get it. I guess I don't know. I've never smoked. So cigarettes and vaping not my thing. I also enjoyed this comment from someone who said, "I love that the podcast is free from corporate sponsorship." Well, intraocular on Reddit. I have to tell you, man, I'm a little offended. We were sponsored by a corporation, and we worked very hard to get sponsored by that corporation.
Yep.
You could say that we strained to get sponsored by that corporation.
And look, now they're a little bit silent, which is kind of deadly for the sponsorship deal. But you know, we were trying to make things happen. We worked hard with them to get something down on paper, and now just sort of the whole thing went down the tubes, unfortunately.
Yeah, man, it just all kind of.
I think they haven't contacted us in a while, so I think we're just brown listed at this point.
Good one, DJ.
I'll give you that one,
was
DJ.
So bad.
Okay, man, DJ.
Damn, that was so bad. You're so bad at this. You're making Corbin look really good at this. You're in timeout, DJ.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
All
right. We are free from corporate sponsorship, and we would like to take a second to thank everyone at patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery.
I just
for keeping us sponsor free.
I'd like to use this time to shout out Squatty Potty and come back to us. What did we? I know we sold you Squatty Potties. I know that people are putting their legs up on a Squatty Potty right now, relieving themselves
personally
more effectively while listening to this show.
Do you think people listen to this show on the toilet?
You had a good thing going. Squatty Potty. I don't know why you had to do it.
Do you really think people listen to this podcast on the toilet?
I am sure that somebody does.
We're going to get another message 6 months later about how they're going through a lot more internal struggles with employment and be like, oh yeah, hey, we messed this again. And then we're going to get another 6 months.
Look, just come back to us. We'll run another sponsorship deal a year from now. It'll be perfect.
I'm going through some internal struggles right now, and I kind of think the whole situation would be easier if my in-laws had gone to squattypotty.com/BSB and ordered a Squatty Potty using our promo code, which is probably still good given how inept they are over there at Squatty
I'm looking
Potty.
Right now. It was /BSB, right?
Yeah.
One moment while we apply your coupon code.
Well,
yup, it's still there, man.
We're still getting.
They're not paying us though, so I don't know.
No, they did give us a big check up front, and all we did was send them some emails. So we should do that more. I don't know why Buffalo Wild Wings hasn't been sponsoring us for 5 years.
All right, that one, I'm willing to pursue now.
Yep. So, you like that we're free from corporate sponsorship, so I'd like to thank you for reminding us that we should pursue some corporate sponsorships.
But only of the meme variety.
But yeah, we're just memes. Like, we don't. As much as I like sites like Card Kingdom and TCG Player, like being sponsored by them, I kind of felt constrained when we were encouraged to use cool stuff prices when we were on Gathering Magic. So,
well, I also didn't.
It was a good partnership, but I kind of like just using Card Kingdom prices to piss DJ off, but not because we have to.
Well, I also like being able to start the show.
Looks like Cyclonogriff is $35 retail, guys.
I like being able to start the show with a story about the word shit. So I don't think we can do that one.
That's a bad word. Don't say it. Yeah. That's our note from Card Kingdom.
Actually, we're going to get a cease and desist from Card Kingdom. Please stop using our prices.
You're using them. You make them seem so much higher than DCG.
This is a family-friendly online retail store.
Full disclosure: we all do a lot of business with Card Kingdom and appreciate Card Kingdom very much, but we are
We've
not
said
sponsored.
Card Kingdom more times on this podcast than we would have if they'd sponsored us.
That's true. That is actually
so. Yeah,
true,
shout out Card Kingdom. They don't have to pay me to tell you to use their buy list. Use their buy list.
All right. All right, moving on. Let's do some picks of the week, guys.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
Pick of the week.
Mine's
I got
boring.
one that is predicated on a card we talked about tonight. The card we talked about tonight is, of course, Simic Ascendancy. It's later in the week. We don't even know Monday. Normally we podcast on Monday. It's Sunday now. We know nothing. We know everything we knew last week.
Well, it's
so you guys know
Christmas.
so many more cards than us.
Nothing's going to happen. It's Christmas.
Yeah. Right. So predicated on just the handful of minor spoilers we got last week. I like Inexorable Tide at about $1 to $1.50.
I can get behind that.
Inexorable Tide is just it's going in those dumb Atraxa decks. It has a few printings, but not so many that you're like, ugh. It is still a rare. I mean, it goes in those dumb Atraxa decks, but like I think people are gonna do stuff other than just jam Simic Ascendancy and Atraxa. I think it does very Simic-y stuff. I'm gonna put it in my existing Varel deck. I'm gonna put it in my Pier and Toothy deck that I have to make because DJ sold me Japanese foil Pier and Toothies. Now I feel compelled to build a deck.
Yeah, those are pretty.
DJ just knows there's certain shit he gets that he doesn't even list. He just sends me a text message and I buy it. He's like, I got a German, name it. It's a German 4th edition card. Any card. I'm like, all right, damn it. So yeah, he knew I would buy his Pier and
What was the
Toothies,
German
and
card
now
I sold you? Was it the Winter Orb?
yeah, and it's really hot. But
It's
I'm not the kind of
Frostbringer.
person. Yeah, I'm not the kind of person that uses Winter Orb in EDH per se. So I bought the card so I would have it.
You have morals.
Which is just a dumb thing to do. That's not what MTG finance people are supposed to do. That's like being like a pot dealer who bought some crack because I like looking at the rock.
Yep, it's exactly like that.
Anyway, that somehow relates to buying Inexorable Tide under $2.
Okay, good work.
It's kind of like buying crack.
All right, I've got one. I'm interested to see what you guys think about it, but because this card's been somewhat flat for the year, but not completely. Vorinclex out of Iconic Masters.
Oh yeah,
you guys.
That's recovering a little bit slower than I would have thought, but like Vorinclex gets played a little bit less than people thought.
Yeah,
and I
it's
kind
one of those
thought,
feel bad cards for sure.
Yeah, well, just not only that, but I kind of thought it was priced out of people's because it was like $25, $30 for a while, and I was like, oh well, no one's playing Vorinclex because they can't afford it. But when it becomes a $10 card, people will buy it just because hey, it's priced back into their collections. But we're not really seeing that. Like there as a card, it's in around 10,000 decks on EDH Rec, which is just the arbitrary threshold where I'm sort of like, all right, that's an amount of play.
The card has been. I mean, look, I'll say this: the card was reprinted basically a year ago, right? It was, October, I guess, really end of October of last year, so a little over a year. At the beginning of the year, it was under $10 market. Today, it's $12.50 market. So it doesn't look like that much, and it hasn't been the kind of U graph that we might expect. It's been. It fell and it's just kind of dwindled, and the price on the original printing seemed to hit the bottom, right? It's been working its way down, but it's now hit the equilibrium with the Iconic Masters version, where the Iconic Masters version has gone up to 11 or 12. The new Phyrexia version has now gone down to 11 or 12. So we've kind of hit the convergence. I don't know what the right word is there, right? But those two graphs have converged onto a price, and that means we found more or less the bottom, right? Because if one card is going up to meet the other one coming down, and they meet, well, it seems like there's not a lot of pressure on it to keep going down at that point. Given that the new one was the cheaper one and there's more copies of it. So yeah, I don't know what it's going to do. It grew $2 this year. Percentage wise, that's honestly not that bad. But
like RuneScar Demon grew $2 from like $1 to $3.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing is it's not, from a percentage standpoint, it's not insane, but it's also a mythic that I don't see coming back anytime soon. They're not doing master sets. Would they put Vorinclex in standard? Maybe, but it's a Praetor, so probably not. It seems extraordinarily unlikely that Vorinclex is coming, but in anything but a commander deck or modern master set, and there's no more master sets.
Well, and they don't tend to like to
Commander-
print
right.
Praetors outside of a cycle, and they're not going to put Jin-Gitaxias in a commander product.
Right. Yeah, and also like this is just not really on a feel good commander anyways. I doubt they'd want it in there for gameplay reasons. So yeah, I mean I don't see a reprint coming. I'm in on Vorinclex. 11.
I really like that. Pop quiz. Do you know what our buy price is on that card at GPs for the Iconic Masters version?
10.
9. So
Wow.
yeah, like that is an indicator.
That's
that
75%.
That card is a very good mover for. Like it's a hot card. It's a card we want.
Well, 95 buys pretty aggressively, but still, that seems.
I mean,
like,
there's all kinds of factors, right? That's just another
Yeah.
factor making the case for it. So yeah, big fan of Vorinclex. TJ, what do you got?
My pick's boring.
Okay.
It's Helm of the Host.
Why?
Yeah, I mean,
why
that's-
now?
It's
I bottomed
it's
out,
done
right?
being cheap or like it's not going down. Helm of the Host is like do you remember Panharmonicon's graph
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it was like $2 and then
Anointed Procession's the good one to point to.
Well, Anointed Procession got played immediately, and Standard Helm really hasn't.
yeah,
Well, that's true.
like Panharmonicon started at like $5 and then it dropped. And then we all said, hey, these are your $2 Panharmonicons, these are your $3 Panharmonicons. This is when you pick them up. And so Helm of the Host started at $5. We said wait. We said don't buy them yet. And then it went to $2.50, and now it's $3.50, and now is when you buy them because they're going to be $6 in a year and a half.
And you're gonna be like, "Whoa, when did this happen?" Well, when DJ and I were buying them for $3.
Yeah, I mean the graph is pretty flat, but you're right. It's certainly not trending down.
No, I'm not saying you have to buy them now. I'm saying like over the course of these next 6 months,
Yeah.
those are the cards you're going to want to yoink.
I agree with
Yep.
you because
And if
I
you
bet a
can
lot of
trade
people,
some other card from Dominaria that's not going to retain its value
Right.
going into like rotation, you
Yeah.
pick up your stuff that's going to like retain the value. That's why we said pick up your Panharmonicons and your other good
Yeah, I
artifact
mean,
stuff and
yeah.
dump all the Bomac Courier and crap.
I bet a
like
lot
that.
of people didn't know it was even $3.
No, for sure, because you can look at the Panharmonicon graph and it peaked at 6, and it was
Mhm.
because of that like weird, obscure, crappy energy deck or whatever.
Yeah, it was a thing for a minute in Standard.
It was
really
a standard
was.
card for second, but then like during Amonkhet block, it was a $2.50 card, and then when Ixalan came out, it was like a $3 card, and then
Now it's
it went
$5.50.
to. And so this is the graph trend you're going to see with Helm of the Host.
Yeah, good call, good pick.
There's no bad creature to put Helm of the Host on, honestly.
That's true.
I put it on a Coiling Oracle and I was like, this feels like cheating.
Yeah, no kidding.
I like putting it on Gonti.
Yeah, I imagine you do, dude. All right, guys. Anything else you want to touch on this week before we get out of here? Happy holidays, everybody, and we will be back next week. We're going to do our damnedest, at least, to try to give you an episode over the new year. So
Corbin,
enjoy.
that's a bad word. Don't say that word.
Don't say that.
My bad. I'm sorry. My bad.
That's the name of the episode, by the way.
Yeah. All right, everyone. This is Brainstorm Brewery. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the holidays.
Bye-bye. We say Merry Christmas now.